Howdy, howdy, fellas. Oh, it's so fast. I've got a, I got a couple of World of Warships Legends matches today, and the Cataluna. I've been missing the Cataluna from my series of Spanish cruisers. I did fine in it. It wasn't as good as well as I did in the Asturias, and I didn't have any of those just really standout matches like I did with way fewer games in the Andalusia, but I finally got actually a handful of matches, and I've tried to pick the two that I think, one is my highest XP, and the other I think is maybe a better quality match. So I've put two matches in here, and I've tried to speed through any of the parts of the match that aren't particularly interesting or like, just traveling from one point to the other. I am running Topete. I am running two-shot. That's what I ran for the lower tier Spanish cruisers 5 and 6. I've run the three shot most for the tier 8, and then back in the Castilla, I may just be two shot for that one, or honestly may just not play it that much. And this match, the next match, and honestly every match that I played in these is why. Look at the teams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 battleships and a carrier. And a destroyer. 2 cruisers. There are only 2 targets that I really want to get that, chunk, side shot, dev strike on. And look at my team. Everybody is south of B. Everybody's like way, far out there. There is a cruiser here in C, but it's a Belfast. He's smoked up. We don't have any spotting on him. That's a Foudra, I think, south of C. He's not in a position to spot it. And so it's just like, these are the matches that I get with Cataluna. I want to get matches where that 3-shot barrage is worth it. And I just don't. I switched my build around a little bit in these to play with it. I tried the reload when spotted for a little while. And honestly, I can't remember which version of the build that I'm using in these. I think this is the one that I use the most, the Ghost build with the Lightful and the Monnier, based on my concealment there. Because I think in the other one I'm running concealment. I honestly can't remember. I mess with the build a lot. It's not wildly different. It's 2-shot. Ingenious. Actually, the third row skill I did change around. I did some full speed ahead. I did some fire chance. I did some with the unique skill. And it looks like in this one, we'll see. Maybe when I get up to full speed, I can tell if I've got full speed ahead or fire chance. But honestly, like, 5 battleships, they're all nose in half the time. Like, I just don't. I have to burn them down. That's what I end up doing a lot. I want to shoot stuff in the side, but I just have to be honest with myself that, like, is that the match I get? Not really. So that's part of why I've picked this one, is like, yeah, I came up here, I wanted to do a flanking thing, I would have loved to go around, but I've got 3 battleships pinning me in. The rest of my team is way far away, and they're not really doing anything to force anybody to be anything but nose into me, really. This Alabama and Brandenburg have a few times, but I've got, I believe that's in Iowa, just pushing me on my starboard side. And yeah, like, this is it. This is the life at tier 7. And why I just don't end up running the 3-shot. Too many battleships. No fun. I understand why it ends up being a lot of battleships. They are fun. They can be forgiving, but they can also be pretty punishing depending on what you're matched up with. But you don't have the same level of just like, like this. Like, if I go back half a meter further, like I get dev struck right here, battleships just don't tend to have quite that same level of punishing counterplay. It can certainly happen. You need a face full of Shima Torps or something, or a face full of Cataluna Torps. Heyo. And I think just because of how battleships work, they're big and they have like more space for variation within the ships, secondaries and torpedoes and AA and armor profiles and whatever. They're just, I feel like there's more stuff that can be different about them, and they're just cool. They're battleships. So you know, you come play this game about World of Warships, like you want to play the big warships with big guns and shoot stuff. So I get it, but all that to say, like, I would love to see more matches with more cruisers. I feel like they've done some stuff to make that happen sometimes more often, but it's still, there's still a lot of battleships, and it's like, you know, we do it to ourselves too. We as the players play more battleships, so they make more battleships, so they sell more battleships. You know, it's like it all ends up being circular. And if you're in a match with all battleships, do you want to play a cruiser that much? Well, not as much fun, because you end up doing this the whole match. And so it's just like it all rolls around in a circle. And also, I'm playing a cruiser killer. We'll see in a little while, like, did that guy have fun? Because I'm in the match, I don't know. So yeah, I get it. I see the sides, I see the reasons, I understand why. Doesn't mean I have to like it, but I do understand. And I wish it was a little bit different. I would love to see them give cruisers, like, I think lower tier cruisers should have heals. I would love to see, and just like make them a little more forgiving. You know, you'll still get dev struck if you go broadside. Yeah, I would love to see, I don't know, just a little more to make it a little more palatable to play cruisers, so we get to play against more cruisers. But it's a delicate balance, because obviously if you make the cruisers too good, then they just run away with everything, and you have the opposite problem, is there's no battleships or no destroyers or whatever. It's all a balance. I get it. I would like to shoot more cruisers, so I would like there to be more cruisers. Hey. Oh, where is he going? Is he going forward? Is he going backwards? This is one of the reasons I end up liking these, but dispersion on that. What was that crap? But that one too. Come on, these things have better than average accuracy. Oh, yuck. But that's one of the reasons I do actually like these over the Italian cruisers. They have like a similar vibe, but I tend to like these better because you get that extra little bit of you know, leeway. You miss the first shot for whatever, either RNG, lag, definitely not just playing it wrong. You whiff the first part of the salvo, you do get the second chance. I like that. We sit at Eldorado. That was nice. I thought we would get through at this range. Hey, look, it's like poetry. It rhymes. It's the same thing. And a battleship's pushing us. I'm gonna try to fade away a torpedo. I've heard people say that it's not a drawback that U.S. cruisers don't have torpedoes, or most U.S. cruisers, most U.S. heavy cruisers don't have torpedoes at higher tiers. It really is, because you can't do stuff like that, and it certainly doesn't mean that you can't play them. Like, I love the U.S. heavies, but like, just a bit of a personal, you know, grievance with the whole thing. Like, just like, if something can be a weakness without it being a fatal flaw. Like, I feel like sometimes when you say a ship has a weakness, people act like, oh, that doesn't mean it's not playable. Like, no, a weakness doesn't mean it's unplayable. It just means, like, yeah, you have to play around it. There are things that you can't do with it. Like, I was talking about mortar on Friesland with someone, and I was like, well, yeah, mortar has weaknesses. You know, the detectability can be a weakness and a drawback, and it's like, no, mortar's amazing, there's no weakness. It's like, you just charge in. It's like, no, sometimes you can, and sometimes it's amazing and you just delete the destroyer, but also sometimes you get caught in the detection gap and you can't close, and it's a drawback. It's a weakness of the thing. Like, I don't know, just, it's not all or nothing. We were trying to be cheeky, come around and get that Alabama. Thought we might be able to. I'm going to speed this part up because that wasn't that interesting. Just doing cat and mouse, finishing off the cap. Coming up here to pick up the carrier. Based on his positioning on the map, I don't think I'm going to have an angle for a side shot. So we'll go with the HE. And this one, just to kind of illustrate, with the two-shot, with the HE, like, your DPM as kind of more, compared to a more traditional cruiser loadout, like, really isn't that bad. I mean, look at the damage that I do to this Lexington. This is HE. This isn't, you know, this isn't what the Spanish cruisers want to be doing. But, like, this is totally fine. I'm totally doing damage to him. I'm hitting him. He is taking, like, he's taking shots from other stuff in here, so it's not like I just 100 to 0 him really quickly. But, like, it's fine. And again, yet another example of why I just tend to run this two-shot build with most of these cruisers, or with most of the line, most of the Spanish line. I just don't get the matches um, that often that let me really take advantage of the three-shot. And so I've got the two Andalusia videos on the channel where I think I got 4K in both of those. You know, the one was just like the dream, just running through, wrecking everything. And the other one was, you know, probably a little harder fought, but again, still to get the chance to leverage that three-shot. Oh, you know, I think this one... What build am I running? Or maybe it's just my max reload. They got it down to 15 seconds. Anyway, with the two-shot, you don't actually drop that much DPM, and you still can do more regular cruiser things. Yay, 3,500. Could have got a Kraken. Was there any that I missed out? Yeah, I think that Iowa I didn't pick up, but I kind of needed the help, so I don't begrudge that one. So, anyway, two-shot again in this one. This ended up being my highest XP match, but you know, this one is a bit of the like paid actor thing. You know, you watch how this match plays out. Oh, but also again, just sorry to reiterate, like what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's 5 battleships again. Like, guess how many times I'm gonna get to the broadside of a cruiser and shoot it? Like, it's just that's why I wish it was different. I wish I could. I'm not smart enough to like figure out how to fix that quote unquote problem. And again, some of it like what is it, like the customer is always right. It matters of taste. If people want to play battleships, like, you know, wargaming can only do so much to push people to other classes. Like, and I really think there's just inherently, I like to win and do well. So I have kind of gravitated toward cruisers more and more as I kind of grow in my journey in the game. But if I could do as well in battleships, like, more consistently, I just play battleships too. Like, I get it. You know, that big guns and big ships and, you know, famous ships, so I get it. But yeah, Baltimore comes in early. No one's really shooting him, even though there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other ships here, so I guess I'll shoot them. They may not have the angle. But you can see our deployment. We've got one battleship reversing from sea. That's a Nelson under attack by the enemy carrier, which is a almost said Led Zeppelin. Crap. What? Graf Zeppelin. It's a rock band. Anyway, Graf Zeppelin. So I can see, like, that is not a fun ship to be targeted by in the Nelson, so he's backing away. We've got an AL shop I have over at D, and we've got a gaggle of blues and a gaggle of reds, and everybody's just sitting here shooting at each other, setting fires. Yeah. So I think I have the fire chance on this one, which, again, this is why. Just try it. Gotta burn down the battleships. They're all nose in. You know, and again, like, I could maybe go up the flank on the west side of A, maybe get some shots that way, but realistically, I'm just gonna get clapped by all those battleships, so kind of taking a more defensive, kiting position on the islands. And we're just shooting. Hey, somebody shot the Baltimore. Nice. So we're just shooting and burning and shooting and burning and shooting and burning. You know, a lot of times you hear players, probably most likely battleship mains, complaining about, you know, island camping, HE spammers, and blah blah blah. And it's like, you know, you saw what happened to that Baltimore. Like, I mean, I know that's what you want as a battleship, but also realistically, like, is that really what you think they should do? You really think cruisers should just come in nose first, do nothing, and get clapped? Like, is that really what you want the cruisers on your team to do? No, I don't think so. So at this point, oh, maybe just to back up a little bit on the strategy. I see the AL shop I have kiting out over at D. You know, that's what you have to do. If you get stuck in that situation, the super weak flank, if I could have split or pushed or like anything with the I think it was a division that spawned at C and then all came A, I absolutely would have sent them over to help at D. Oh, hold on, I gotta sneeze. Oh my goodness, sorry. What was I saying? Oh, division spawned C, they came A. Like, the D was the weak side anyway. Nelson backed up. AL Shapayev is by himself. I considered going over there, but like I had already positioned at A. And one thing that I've come to realize is like, even if that's not the decision that I would have made, like if I could see into the future and see like, oh, the middle division's going to come A, I should swing around and go support the weak flank. Like, at that point, like, I'm already kind of dedicated to A. The best thing for me to do is finish A. If I switch, I'm going to lose my engine. This is, I have a bunch of clips about this, but this is actually, like, one of the big weaknesses of this line, and I wish they would do something about it. I also wish we could see it, is module health, and I am super annoyed that these ships that want to do this like flanking aggressive positioning have incredibly weak engines. Rudder's weak, but the engine is like tragically weak, and that really just ticks me off because it's like, come on, let me do the thing. Stop taking my modules. You know, if I get dev struck, I get dev struck or sunk or whatever, but don't just like take my modules. I literally, you know, actually I am. I'm going to put it in. I'm going to put it in and show you what I'm talking about. All right, yeah, so this is another match. You know, whatever. Look at that! They didn't even hit me! They didn't even hit me and it knocked my engine. Like, come on! That's a crap. I was so hot. I was so annoyed. The other ship on my team that was still alive at that point was like, why didn't you push the Plymouth? I'm like, ah, no! Why didn't I push the Plymouth? Oh, here, I robbed myself of the the Led Zeppelin because I like assumed those would finish it. They didn't. That's annoying. That would have been a little more, but whatever. I think he was pushing in. I can't remember. I think he might have been a Ciliax Graf Zeppelin. It's like, I know that's fun when it works, but man, whatever. Yeah, so we're coming over here. We got a Plymouth in the smoke. Got a Lugdunum. We're just gonna do, yet again, burn another battleship down, or at least try to. He's broadside enough. I think AP would do something here, but realistically, I'm not gonna like take him out with the AP at this point, and if he just noses in, I'd rather just have the fires burning. So we're just gonna keep burning him. We are gonna position to move back in. Hey, we found our Nelson. Our friendly Nelson is right here waiting for us. Yeah, we're positioning to move back in, dodge some stuff. We're going to go in to C and take that out. Our battleships at A are continuing to, you know, go around the clock face. Once we had finished A, it's like, okay, we can come over here. Our AL Shapayev is still kiting out, but he's pulling a ship away. And again, that's the thing you can do, even if it's not fun and glamorous. Like, if there, I guess it would have been 4 ships, including the carrier in C. I don't know that this goes any differently. I'm healthy enough, and I believe it's a Scharnhorst, so he doesn't overmatch me. So I don't know that that like changes the outcome of this match, but in some instances it certainly does. And so that's you know, that's a defensive kiting out position that you can take to split the enemy team, buy time for your team. You know, every match only has 15 minutes in it, and so any time that you can waste of an enemy ship is beneficial to your team. So I had like a bit of a series going, you know, always the weak flank. Kind of fallen off that. It just doesn't, in some sense, I think I've improved enough that it doesn't always feel like that's as much of a detriment as it did at one point, but it can still get frustrating. So if anybody's watching this that ends up on that, watch that AL Shapayev over there at D. We can't see the engagement, but we can see his icon. Like, he was way outnumbered, and I think he lives to the end of the match. Like, that's what you have to do. Yep, alright, sneak into Citadel. That's awesome. Glad I kept the AP. Oh, yeah, Scharnhorst 43, I think that was. So, but he's just keeping it going. Yep, we're going to speed this up for the rest of the match. We go through, cap to cap, obviously. We are up on points, you know. This is one of those things where the enemy team, they really could have won this, played a little differently. If their ships at A had kind of stayed alive, stayed healthier, the ships from D had come in and had broadside shots. This Georgia W, you know what, although I think he might have been at A and been the one that like kited all the way around. I'm not sure if he was at D or if he was at A too. Yeah, he was, because he would have been in that corner if that was still him on the map. So pretty sure he was at A and is kited all the way over here. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so if the ships at D had come in and shot stuff, and that's also like one of the weaknesses of kind of more secondary ships. They got the Scharnhorst 43. Oh, sorry, AL Shop AF sunk that, so he does pick that up. What do we do here? Oh yeah, the end of the match. Oh, this is so close. I missed out on a little bit more of experience. Oh no, I do. I burn him, and I get the cap. Oh no, I did get him. Yeah, max XP, worth it. totally worth it. But that's a match. That one was just like, eh. That's Cataluna. Finally got the matches. It is a fun ship, but the matchmaking just doesn't always work out for it.